And welcome back to the Small Black Business Review, where I, Joelle, review small black businesses, their products, and their services. Alright, you guys, so as you can tell from the title, I am here with my top 5 books that I recommend for entrepreneurs and people of color, specifically black entrepreneurs, okay? So I actually read these books before I became a full-fledged entrepreneur and or business owner, and let's get into them. So I hope that these books, I hope at least one of the books that I'm showing to you is new and you haven't seen it 1,000 times before. I know on YouTube there are lots and lots of books and lots of videos on books for entrepreneurs, but I specifically wanted to find books that I believe that women of color, people of color, black folk, color folks would really enjoy and use in their everyday practice of being an entrepreneur and a business owner. Okay, so my first book is one that I'm sure a lot of you guys know, and it is called The Richest Man in Babylon by Charles Concord. It's a really quick, easy read. I think it's about 23 pages, and it's really straight to the point. It is a direct and very clear-cut story around money management, and I really enjoy this book. The second book I'm actually rereading right now, and it's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, and this book has to deal with not so much money itself, but how your thoughts affect your money, how your thoughts affect the outcome of money, how your thoughts affect you just in general. And I believe that every business owner really needs to hone in on their thoughts, what they think, and how their thoughts affect them. They really need to know how their thoughts affect them and will affect their business and their health. Okay? This next book is my favorite. I like all of them. I like all of the books, but this is definitely my favorite out of all of the books. And it's hard to get a favorite because all of them are favorites. But this is a favorite for me out of all of the books because this is one that I really applied and I really liked for black people in general. And this book is called How to Be Successful Without Being White by Earl Graves. And for you who don't know, this man right here, Earl Graves, is the CEO and the publisher and the CEO of Black Enterprise. And for you who don't know, Black Enterprise is a magazine that specifically talks about Fortune 500 companies that are owned by black people, companies that are owned by black people, what some of the newest people of color are doing in their business or their field, and I really enjoyed that magazine. And so when I found out that he came out with the book, I had to read it, and it is a really good book. He's very clear to the point on how to get through business without selling your soul as a black person, without compromising your character, and I really enjoy this book. The fourth book that I have for you is by Dr. Claude Anderson, and it's called Black Labor, White Wealth. As soon as I heard about this book, I really had to get my hands on it. And this book has to do with black economics and how it works and how to maintain and build black wealth. And that's very crucial because a lot of black people or people of color do not know how to save, do not know how to invest, and don't know how economics themselves, let alone black economics, works. So I really enjoy this book and recommend this book, especially if you're like a finance major or anything like that. But if you're just a business owner in general and you really want to keep your integrity as a black person, or really want to keep your integrity as a person of color who wants to serve people of color, this book is definitely for you. The last but not least book that I have for entrepreneurs, black folk who are entrepreneurs, who want to be entrepreneurs, is this book called Spark by John Ratley. Okay, so this is another outside of the box book, and it has to do again with the brain. I am definitely a big wonderer, or I am definitely a big person who wonders how the brain works. And so when I got this book, I was really intrigued. And so this book has to do with how exercise in particular affects the brain. And I found this book to be super useful because when you're a business owner, how you think, what you think, how you speak is a big component on if you're going to be successful, if your business is going to be successful, and if you are just going to have a successful day. Your thoughts run a huge part of you, your emotions, how you interact with people, how you feel about yourself. And so I'm really big on making sure your thoughts are clear, concise, and of positive nature. Okay? And so this book has to do, again, with the effects of exercise and the brain. And if you're like me and you studied people who are successful or who are billionaires and millionaires, you'll find a few common things that they all do. One of them is read a whole lot. The second one is exercise and mindfulness, okay? And so I really wanted to find the correlation between exercise and the brain and being successful. And this book shows you, tells you how the connections are made. Okay, so I know all of the books that I showed you are not necessarily and don't necessarily have to deal with business directly, but I like to think and like to look at business and a business owner, especially a really successful one, and look at them from a very holistic view and what makes them successful, from their brain to their thought pattern to what they do to what they eat to what they drink and things like that. And so that's why I picked the 5 books that I do, even though they don't directly deal with business. They deal with the whole holistic view of a business owner, and I really enjoy the books. Like I said, I'm rereading one of them right now. I'm sure I will reread the Spark book again when it's time, and I hope you enjoy the books. I hope you go out and get them. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, so then that way I can answer the questions. And as always, if you know somebody of melanated descent, black, Negro, colored, African American, whatever it is you want to call them, and that is doing something positive in the community, giving back, and you want to support their business, please leave a link of their information down below, so then that way I can do a review for you on their business and spread the word for their business, so then that way we can help build the black economics and continue to build black wealth and support small businesses. All right, you guys, have a good one.